let us say this example, we have been given a function fx which is x square minus 6x plus 9, and we are asked to determine whether f has minimum or maximum values. If so, what is a value, and you need to state the domain and range of f. Let us first attempt the second question. What is a domain? Domain of f is entire real line. We don't have to worry. What is a range of f? Let us take this function, identify a, b, c. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 6, c is equal to 9. Since a is greater than 0, the function opens up. If the function opens up, then it will have a minimum value. Right? So the answer to first question is whether f has minimum or maximum value. It has a minimum value. Once it has a minimum value, it cannot have maximum value. If so, what is a value? What is a value? You need to figure out what is a vertex. What is a vertex of this particular parabola? So what is the formula for vertex of the parabola? Minus b by 2a. b is minus 6, a is 1. So minus b by 2a is minus 6 by 2 times 1, which will give me minus 3. Which will give me minus 3. Sorry, this is wrong. It should give me plus 3. Minus of minus 6 upon 2a, that should give me plus 3, which is written wrong here, but it is written correct. The graph is correct here, where we are getting x is equal to 3 as the vertex. So if you substitute f of 3, what you get? F of 3 will be 3 square minus 18 plus 9, and therefore the value of this is nothing but 0. So this minus 3 is wrong. It should be plus 3. And obviously the range, if it has a minimum value, the range is minimum upwards. That is the entire real line above this minimum. So that is R intersected with fx such that fx is greater than or equal to 0. Done. So we have understood how to find the minimum and maximum values of a function. You can if the a is negative, you can similarly find the maximum value. So let us try to make this example more realistic. So let us take one realistic example where a tour bus in Chennai serves 500 customers per day. They charge rupees 40 per person. Now they want to revamp their strategies. So the owner of the bus service estimate that the company would lose 10 passengers per day for each rupees 4 hike in the fare. So if they hike the fare by 4 rupees, then they will lose 10 customers per day. This is the estimate. Now the company wants to maximize the profit. So how much should be the fare in order to maximize the income of the company is the question. So let us try to answer this question using our knowledge of quadratic equation. So let us say 1 unit of hike is 4 rupees. So let x denote the number of rupees 4 fare hikes. So what will this impact? This will impact the number of passengers, right? Because we are losing 10 passengers per fare hike. So what will be the corresponding fare price for the passenger? It will be 40 plus 4x. 40 rupees is the fees that we are charging per person. The company is charging per person, and if I hike the fare, it will be 4 times x. This will be charged per person. Now the number of passengers with this hike, if you increase x units, that means you will lose 10 passengers every x units increase. That means 500 minus 10x is the loss of the passenger, is the passengers that still remain. So in this case, the income of the company will be the number of passengers into the fare they have charged. Right? So that is 500 minus 10x into 40 plus 4x. If you open the brackets and multiply them, then you will get the expression to be minus 40x square plus 1600x plus 20,000. This is the income. Now the company wants to maximize the profit. First of all, after getting this quadratic equation, can you tell me, is the maximum possible? The answer is yes. And why the answer is yes? Because it lies in the coordinate in the coefficients a, b and c. So what is a here? A is minus 40, b is 1600 and c is 20,000. Because a is minus 40, a is less than 0, so the curve will open downwards. That means the maximum is possible. And what will be the maximum value attained then? That is what we have to figure out. So now the next question is, okay, so where this maximum will be attained? The maximum is possible. Maximum will be attained on the vertex. The y coordinate of the vertex will give me the maximum. So I will simply figure out what is the x coordinate of the vertex. X coordinate of the vertex is in point of intersection of the axis of symmetry. What is the axis of symmetry? X is equal to minus b by 2a. What is b? 1600. C 20,000 and a is minus 40. So minus b is minus 1600 upon 2 into minus 40, that is minus sign getting cancelled, 1600 by 80, which will give me 20. So that is what 20 is, yes. And the maximize y coordinate, the maximum fare that we will get is 36,000. Right now how much we are earning, how much the company is earning? That is 500 customers they are serving. They are everybody is paying 40 rupees, so they are simply earning only 20,000 rupees. That is when you do not increase any fare, x is equal to 0, you get 20,000. So the answer to this question is how much the fare, so the main question is how much the fare should be. Now what we are suggesting here by solving this problem is there should be a 20 units of hike of rupees 4 each. That means what we are suggesting is there should be a 80 rupees hike in the fare. So the new fare for the company should be 40 plus 4 times x, that x is 20. So 40 plus 4 times 20, that is 80 plus 40, which is 120. And that is what is the recommended hike by the company. So now every person should be charged 120 rupees as opposed to 40 rupees, and then the company will be profitable and you may have to serve less customers. This is how we are using real life, we are using quadratic equations to solve real life situations. Now let us go back to our linear functions, where we studied the slopes of the lines, right? What was the slope of a line? Slope of a line was change in y by change in x. Let us see what the concept of slope has to do with a quadratic function. Let us try to analyze that. So my goal in this set of slides is, given a quadratic function fx equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0, how to determine the slope of a function f. So in order to generalize this notion of slope of a function, we will first recall what we do know about linear function. So if you look at a linear function which is y which is equal to gx mx plus c, we know that this m represents the slope, and m can be calculated by considering a ratio of change in x upon change in y. We have spent a lot of time in understanding the slope, and when I consider a linear function, I also know that the slope remains constant. Okay. We also know that the slope is nothing but some tan of some inclination, and that inclination is with positive x-axis. So I want to relate all these concepts and try to figure out what is the slope of this quadratic function. Let us go ahead. We will use a similar analogy for a quadratic function and define the slope of a quadratic function. First, let us take one example to discuss this concept of slope. Let us take our standard prototype example. We are trying to answer this question: y is equal to x square.